your people.
I'm in love with you, baby, like a monster truck. I'm in love with you, honey, and all your stuff. And with the steel, yes, sister, so I know it's real. Let me do as I please, yes, whatever I feel. Heavy soul, broken bone, I've got no control. Bring the steel, so I know it's real. You come on in. Oh yeah, like a monster truck. I'm in love with you, baby, like a monster truck. I'm in love with you, honey, and all your stuff. And with the steel, yes, sister, so I know it's real. Do as you please, oh yeah, whatever you feel. Heavy soul, broken bone, I've got no control. Bring the steel, so I know it's real. You come on in.
Thank you.
We're live. We're back.
We are on.
Coach, Kristen Carvey, how the hell are you guys?
Hola.
¿Cómo
¿Qué?
está?
Okay.
What's up?
As you can see, we got superfan Sisko with us today.
Yeah.
More, bring it, give me more, I love it.
There we go.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
I love it. Michael, thanks for coming out, spending some time with us.
Take it off. There we go.
Yeah,
I
look at
really
that.
appreciate you guys contacting me Sunday. It's a privilege. You guys doing this for me.
Thank
Get
you.
a lot more recognition from my Colts fans and everything. I'm
We-
looking forward
A
to
little
it.
bit closer. A little bit. Let's get
There
it
you
closer.
go.
There we go.
There we go.
And I enjoy doing this all the time for the fans. You know, it's getting me more publicity with the people out there every day.
That's cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It is.
So, how long have you been doing this, Mike?
I've been doing this here about 4.5 years and everything. I've had 3 or 4 different outfits, but this one came out to be the best one I came out with. And everything too. That was the awesome part.
Now, I read a story where you go to Goodwill's and find a lot of the stuff that you have on now.
Yes, it is. Yep.
That is
I think I
a
know.
costume on a budget like that. That's awesome. And so creative. The setup that you got to do that from Goodwill stores, I would never have thought of something like that.
When I got all the stuff and I got all the pieces together and I had to think what would look the best and work. And her son, my friend Patsy, her son, we all worked together and put it all together. You know, came together what we wanted.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
It is. It makes me a little jealous. You still get to wear shoulder pads and I don't.
Yep.
That's bad. We was at training camp and it was just the smell of the grass and the heat and the sweat. It was like, oh my God, I miss this so much. I wanted to get back out and play, but I what's the word I'm looking for? I like my body. I don't want to be hurt no more. I'm not getting out there with them guys.
You fragile now.
You're not the only one that likes your body, Pat.
I know.
Actually,
We're not young puppies anymore like we used to.
No, I can't even run into a doorway anymore without crying like a little girl.
I can see
It
that.
hurts.
unfortunate.
It hurts.
Based on that size, I feel like you might run into all of the doorways.
It's quite often. It's very quite often.
All right, so Mike, one of our friends actually had a question. How heavy is all of this equipment?
It gets heavy after a while, having it on for a period of time and everything in the games. But I always managed to make it through the games and everything too.
You ever weighed it? Ever tried to weigh how much
Nope. Never have.
Yeah, that might be a mental mistake. Yeah. God, I got to put on this 80 pounds today. Hey, I wouldn't do it, Mike.
You might as well be in shape with his football players. 80 pounds right there. You know, so that's pretty good.
I've had this on. I've actually walked all the way to the top of the stadium before.
With that on.
Oh,
With
man.
that
We've
on,
been up
by the
there.
time I got up there and down, I was wore out.
I bet. I'm breathing heavy just thinking about walking all that way.
Yeah. From the bottom to the top.
We
all the way
did that one time. We bought tickets for the YouTube concert. We got the cheapest tickets.
Oh.
We will never do that again because my
What,
bladder
you
is
two
the size
or
of a woman.
the tickets?
No, the tickets. We
I'll say
could touch
both.
the ceiling from our seats.
I'm gonna believe it.
was bad.
Man, it
Well,
was terrible.
you know that's how they get the roof open, right? They
When
just
all the
have all
people
those
up there,
fans
yeah.
pulling it down.
Yep.
Now,
I've
when
now discovered that it's worth it to go ahead and spring for better tickets. Yes.
you're a season ticket holder,
Yep. My buddy, my friend Mike Sanders, he's got the tickets, and he offered me the tickets, and I drive up there.
awesome. Now, where you sit and you got all this gear on, do you ever get people yelling at you? Sit down, I can't see.
Not really. They don't. They like it. They get a good time out of
All
it.
right, good.
That's awesome.
But the thing about it, I gotta be careful when I get up, sit down, because I don't want to bump into somebody with my shoulder pads.
Does that
Have you ever gave somebody a black eye with those?
I accidentally hit one of the security guards with my shoulder pads a couple weeks ago at the game.
You meant to do that.
He wasn't too happy about it, and I apologized to him. He said, it's all right, it's all right. I could tell he was kind of a little upset about it,
That's
but I didn't mean to do it.
Well, some of them deserve it. I know at least one.
So you are from Columbus, Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
You were born and raised there.
Yes.
Now you're a huge Colts fan.
Mm-hmm.
Before the Colts moved to Indianapolis, did you have a favorite team?
IU basketball.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I mean, you were
Hoop,
was it
hoop,
just
hoop, Hoosiers!
up until the Colts were here. You were not a huge professional football fan.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yep.
And so you mentioned that you're a basketball fan.
Yep.
Did you play basketball?
I tried out with the basketball team, and I didn't make it. But like I said, I stayed on and helped with the basketball team for 10 years. Like assistant coach, I enjoyed it. Got to meet a lot more fans, and the players enjoyed me and everything too. I'm well known in Columbus.
And you stayed on as a basketball coach at a high school in Columbus.
Yes.
Now, were you able to get to IU games?
I brought IU basketball game tickets, went to the games, and I've actually met Bobby Knight a few times.
I actually
And I went
also
down
met
there
Bobby Knight.
one year on my birthday. I went to Assembly Hall, knocked on his door, and he answered it. And I said, he goes, "Can I help you?" I said, "Can you autograph my basketball for me?" "Sure, come on in." He autographed it for me.
That's wonderful.
That's
Sweet.
awesome. Bobby
So
Knight.
do you still keep up with IU basketball?
Yep.
Do you? Okay.
What do you think they're going to do this year?
What now?
How they looking this year? You
I
think
think
you
they're
think
gonna
they're
be
going to do all right?
Yep.
I think Miller's trying to build something
Yeah.
under the radar there. He's getting some decent talent,
Yep.
but not the big name, the big shiny names out there.
No, it's not
But
about
he's-
that.
And
Good
they
role
stay
player.
away
It's-
from injuries.
Yeah.
That's the thing about it.
He's getting some good talent. I'm excited for IU basketball
I am
this
too.
year. Real excited. So, Michael, I got to ask you this.
Right.
What's the best part of dressing up in all your gear, spending this time, spending the money, everything that you've invested in this? What's the best part of it?
Meeting all the fans, the players, the coach GM, just having a good time, putting a smile on people's faces, making them happy. That's what it's all about. That's what I like about it. People say, "Why are you all charging and get pictures with?" I said, "It's not all about the money. It's all about making the people happy and having a good time with everybody."
That's
That's the way I
awesome.
look at it.
That's awesome. Bravo.
Yes, yes,
Bravo.
yes. So, what's one football player, coach football player that you met that you was excited to meet?
First one I ever really met.
Look, man, we're a friendly show, and you're going to put the man on the
I'm
spot
sorry.
like
I'm
that.
sorry.
Dang, Carvey.
What you mean? What
Yeah.
you mean?
Yeah, the player that you always wanted to meet, like coach player.
The one you was most
Yes, like
excited
he's like
to
ooh,
meet.
like Peyton Manning or
Adam Vinatieri.
I met Adam Ventura.
Literally-
He's a super nice man, Christian man. Same way with Jeff Saturday.
oh
I went to see him at the casino, and I got a poster autographed. by him, and the poster had a picture of him and his son on it, and he loved it. And then when he got done with his signing, and I came back up to him and I said, Jeff, you said you love this poster? He goes, yes. I said, I will get you one before the Ring of Honor next month.
Oh.
And I already have one for him. And I said, I'm a man of my words, and we shook hands. So I'm going to give him one of those posters.
That's
Nice.
awesome. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's
So-
awesome.
Do you follow football? Because I mean, clearly you are a basketball fan.
Yeah.
It sounds like you know basketball. You love basketball. Do you follow football like you love the basketball?
I do both. I love both of them.
Okay, so we're moving forward into this week's game.
Yep.
How do you think that we pair up with Houston?
I think we match up pretty good with them because we went down to Houston last year at their regular season game. We beat them. Then we went down there and beat them in the playoffs and knocked them out.
So they're going to want
I think the
revenge.
pressure's on Houston more than it is the Colts because in their mind, Houston knows what we could do, and we got T.Y. T.Y. eats off Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, does he.
Yes.
The
Yes,
T.Y. is Houston's baddie.
T.Y. is just unstoppable when he plays against Houston.
Well,
You
and
can't stop him.
Jonathan Joseph, who is supposed to be defending Ty, is running around with a bum leg too. So
Yeah, I've heard that. I heard he's ruled out now.
Oh,
Really?
Mike's
I've
got
heard
one.
he's
He got some
ruled out.
inside
See,
info.
I just
there
seen
you
that a couple
go.
days ago on Facebook. They said he's ruled out. So that's going to put a damper on Houston right there.
So we're
Yeah.
moving into this Houston game, playing at home with one of the top 10 rushers in the league this season. We've got Ty coming back. We've got coming in. We've got
We
this
got
guy.
Malin Hooker back.
Oh, we got Hooker.
I seen that.
Yes,
Yes.
he been practicing, limited practice.
And Leonard's back.
Leonard's clear.
Back. Leonard's back.
Yes.
Now you just went up and seen Leonard
Yep,
up
I
in
seen
Muncie,
him
right?
Tuesday up in Muncie. Super awesome man. Got to meet his wife and his baby daughter. Beautiful baby girl, 7 months old. Got a picture taken with his family.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Too.
That's really cool.
He's a real nice guy.
Oh,
That
that's so
lady-
nice, man.
yeah.
First time I met him at Cluster's Den in May, when he seen my get up, he was just kind of blown away about it.
Wow. He
I
was like,
said, now it's Maniac versus Superfan Sisko.
Do you square up on him?
He just kind of laughed about it. He thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
He liked it.
that's cool.
That is awesome.
So you've put a lot of effort into all of this over the years. You've clearly, I can tell there's some miles on this. You talked to us earlier when you first got in the studio about how some of the players react when they meet you. I mean, could you tell us any of the stories about
Oh, they
that?
love it and everything. Just same way with Vanna Miniature, Jeff Saturday, Dallas Clark, Andrew Luck and everything. He loved it and everything too.
Yeah.
I think it's just totally awesome what I do. Chris Ballard liked it too. He told me, let's get a picture together. He said, if you can, send me a picture of me and you together. And I said, sure. Then he sent me 2 autographed footballs. I did not know I was going to receive the footballs.
That's cool.
That's
Autographed
awesome.
by
That's
Robert
awesome.
Matthews and Reggie Wade.
What'd you do with them?
I put them in a display case in my room.
That's awesome.
And I got a lot of people wanting them. I said, it's not
Oh, I
for sale.
bet.
Well, I mean, you got 2 of them. Would you? I mean, we talked about this for a minute before the show started. Would you consider maybe auctioning one and giving the proceeds to the Riley Children's Hospital?
Yeah, I probably could do that.
That might be a good way to do something.
Yeah.
Well,
You
hey,
keep the first one though. You
Yeah.
keep that one.
Yeah.
I got something a little better. You
Oh.
guys remember the post I made about the Twisted Foundation?
He's already got a cause.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's 100% behind giving money to the Riley Children's.
No, that's
Yeah.
no. I mean,
Yeah.
Riley's is a
I tell a lot of people
Awesome
out there,
un-
if anything you guys need to do around getting toward Christmas time, they have a blood drive at Lucas Oil Stadium. Go up there, donate blood, save a life, and you get a free Coach football. And that's worth it.
So that's
Yeah.
one of the things that we had talked about before the show started was that you have you're pretty gung ho about going ahead and donating money to the Riley Children's Hospital. Why do you feel so strongly about that?
Because you only got one life to live. Too many people don't have that chance, opportunity. Give some back to somebody. Save a life.
Yes.
Well, that's moving. I like that.
I love
Did
it.
you personally have experiences at Riley?
Yes, I did. I had a blood transfusion because I was born early, and they didn't think I was going to make it, so they gave me a blood transfusion, and that's what pulled me through.
That's awesome.
So
Thank you.
that's where you want to return the favor.
Yes.
Yes, that's awesome. Yes.
All right. Well, let's do it as a show.
I'm with it.
As a show, all our friends out there, let's all
Yeah.
get together, go up there together, give
When
blood
you're-
together.
When you're ready to go ahead and auction that football, let us know, and we will help you out if you
I
like.
appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. We'll put the word out.
We'll get the most we can.
Yeah,
possibly get.
Yeah.
we love giving back to the community. We helped a friend of ours, Danny. She runs an organization called the Smile Stroll, and it's to help kids with, say the word,
Oh, for Pete's sake.
cranial.
Cranial facial dysplasia.
Yeah, something like cleft lips, and
Yeah,
you know,
problems here.
yeah. And she raises money and donates it to
Causes
Riley.
Speech problems.
And she donates it to Riley's to help send those kids to a camp. You know, we had her on the show, and we got an Adam Vinatieri signed football that she auctioned off
That's
for
awesome.
that. We're getting ready to start working with another organization called the Twisted Foundation, and it's a bunch of car enthusiasts that raises money for the Toys for Tots.
That's awesome. Yes.
So
Same year that Chuck Magano had his cancer and
Yeah.
everything, my nephew, he had the same time. And I went out and raised money for my nephew. I raised $2,000-3,000 for him. Did charity drives, softball tournaments, blood drives, sold bracelets, and he's cancer free. Doing awesome. He's working in the hospital as a nurse.
That's
Okay.
awesome. Yes.
now, have you ever thought about taking like a 5-gallon bucket with you and put on there donations for Riley's Children's? And when you're at the games and people want to take pictures with you or whatnot, they have the opportunity to donate with you.
That's a
I know you're not
wonderful
gonna
idea.
charge nobody, but if they want to donate and help you raise money for that, that's an
a good
idea.
I could do that.
Yeah, I just put a lock on it. You know, next thing you know, I'm dipping in there buying me some nachos.
I bought nachos at the stadium once, and now my youngest daughter can't afford college.
Just saying, huh?
Now you know the reason why.
Sorry, Stella. Sorry.
Mike, we had a real big game against Kansas City
I was just totally awesome.
a couple weeks ago. Yeah, it looked like we finally was able to have all cylinders running: offense, defense, special teams, the whole gambit. And I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for our defense to play a game like they did. What do you see different we need to do against the Texans?
And you keep pressure on the quarterback and make him push the ball the other way and everything too.
Punch him in the mouth a couple times,
Yeah.
get him rattled up.
Yeah.
I like it.
Well, I think defensively our game plan is going to be very similar to what we did with Kansas City.
Yes.
I think it will. It'll be the same way
Yeah.
too.
So do you think that we're gonna be running the ball like we did against Kansas City too?
Yes, I do.
So you think Marlon Mack will have how many touchdowns do you think he's
I
gonna
think you
have?
have to.
Two.
Now the only difference I think with our game plan this week on offense, I think we're going to be forced to throw it more because I think the Texans defense is going to dictate that.
Well,
I think Quentin Nelson's going to dictate that.
Yeah, but see, you got to think about it. Their defense is ranked, I want to say, 27th on deep rushing. So I think we're going to run.
If you can run the ball, run the ball.
That's what I'm saying. So that as Quentin Nelson's hat says, run the damn ball.
Yeah, no doubt. You got to run the ball. You got to establish the run game. But everybody knows we're doing that now. They seen us.
They're going to try to
They
stop
seen us, completely stop Kansas City by running the ball. Coach Reich's going to have to mix it up.
Yeah.
I mean,
will.
he's going to have to give them different looks. or they're going to know everything we're doing before we do it, and they're going to be able to stop us.
Nelson, he's so strong. He's a beast. He'll block one guy and he'll grab 200 guys and just open up a hole and pushes them out of the way.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah, he's definitely getting to the second and
Yeah.
third level.
What
every
I
time
like
he's
about him, when the
getting out
play's
there.
done, he gets up, runs down the field,
Yes.
Oh yeah,
and
Gets
make
it.
sure his players are all right, and he'll help them up, pats
Yeah.
him on the helmet. So good job. Gets back up there, ready to go again.
So, do you think this is the best offensive line we ever had?
For a long time, yes.
Yes.
I think all time. I think it's the best all time that I've ever seen.
I would have loved to have seen.
Even with Saturday and Terry
I would have loved
Glenn
to have
and
seen Manning and Edrin James behind the line
This.
we have now.
Oh, if we had this line with Edrin James and Peyton Manning, we would have so many Super Bowl
No,
rings.
we'll blow everybody away.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
but with Coach Wright and Peyton Manning, do you think they would gel like Jacoby and Frank has?
Absolutely.
Well, I don't think the offense.
Because-
it would have been Peyton Manning's offense no matter.
You
what.
think still?
Oh yeah.
I mean, Frank's a manly
No.
man. I don't know if
no.
he's going to
What?
release.
Yeah. I think that he's a bit of a stronger coach. I think that what we had when Peyton was the quarterback was an entire team built around Peyton as the quarterback. What Frank's doing is turning the team into what can do well in this situation, in this situation, in this situation. You're seeing more versatility as a coach.
Yes.
See, and that's why I brought up he's going to change that run scheme against
He has
Texans.
to.
I
Because if
think he has to
doesn't,
too.
You're gonna lose.
Yeah, I think he has to too. But you hit it on the nails. He's going to personalize each one of these games.
Yes.
Exactly what
Because he
he's
can
good
map
at.
that stuff out.
As I've been watching other shows, we brought the blueprint to how to beat the Chiefs, because ever since we beat them, guess who beat them right after us?
Houston.
Houston, and they beat them.
So if Houston
How did
was-
I didn't watch the Detroit Kansas City game? How did they slow him down? They slowed him down
It was
pretty
very- it was
pretty
very
good.
similar.
It was okay. So,
So
what-
are you still calling? You're saying we did the blueprint, or do
No,
you
okay,
think
so- okay.
we kind of
We
mimicked a
actually
little off
Guys.
Detroit?
keep in mind that we do have a gentleman here that
Sorry.
is not as
yes,
good
yes,
at
ma'am.
hearing things.
Yes, ma'am.
So we need to have a one at a time policy
You're fine.
and look at this man when you're speaking.
You're
Yes,
fine.
ma'am. Right at me. I feel like I'm in trouble.
You are in trouble. You're always in trouble.
You started it.
Detroit's the one I think started it. Then we looked at Detroit's films and everything. Went from there.
Yeah. I see what I believe it started with last year with the New England Patriots. And then after that, Detroit picked up off of it, and then we utilized it used their scheme and New England scheme and put our own little scheme together.
True.
And that's how we beat them and pretty much exposed them, as I could say.
Well, and that being said, what do you think Denver's going to do with them tonight?
Nothing.
Kansas. I don't
Nothing.
just know. I completely.
This is what I'm gonna say.
You can disagree. It's okay. That's what we're here for.
Carby won't let me talk.
No, go ahead.
Denver
You go.
beat
You.
Tennessee last week.
They didn't
Yeah.
just beat Tennessee. They delivered the first blowout of the season.
True.
Yeah, that was.
No, it was against Tennessee, but it was Denver. They shouldn't have beat many things this season. So what I'm trying to say is Flacco is actually coming to a point where he's gelling with his team, and they are in turn getting better with him.
But
I'm not saying that they're going to beat Kansas, but I think they're going to give them a run for their money. Plus, Mile High.
That's the
what
only.
that's,
only
but that's what I was
part
gonna
I'm gonna
say.
give you.
That's what I was gonna say. Yes, Mile High, but also, like you said, Flacco, he's now gelling with his team.
He had some
But they're-
growing pains.
Yes, but they're not there yet.
They're
not there
better
yet.
than they've been.
But yes, I say personally, they will run up the scoreboard a little bit, but Kansas City will come back because 2 blows back to back.
I don't think that they're going to be able to come back from those 2 blows and really deliver a hard blow against Denver, especially because Denver's coming off 2 great wins.
Right.
So they're all pumped, they're ready to go, and they know how to deal with a lack of oxygen.
Yeah, I
But
just
they
and
lost
they're gonna
Chubb.
bring their ace.
Is it Chubb that They picked up
Tyre,
2 drafts. The defensive,
So he's not playing tonight.
I think he's out for the season.
I mean, I just don't
I
think
might be wrong, but I don't think so.
I don't think they will lose. I'm sorry. I'll say I don't think that they're going to lose 3 games in a row like Dallas. So so that's what I'm saying.
He always does, yes.
I'm
You
sorry.
know what,
I had
to be
to.
fair, I also
Supposed to get
didn't
beat by the
think
Jets the
that
first win
Dallas
of the
was going
season.
I know, right? See, he beat Mono, and then he beat the Cowboys. Hey,
Do you know how hard it is to come back from mono?
I know.
Beat the Cowboys after that too.
I'm saying, hey, I'm feeling invincible. Mono, and then now the Cowboys. Both.
Mike, we're not midway through the season yet, but we're pretty close.
We're close.
Who's your surprise team through the NFL? The one that is doing the best that you didn't think would do that great?
I like the Buffalo Bills and the 49ers.
Man, that's a good
Man, the 49ers.
Good night.
49ers.
Where did they come
I
from?
don't know. Have a clue.
They were a quarterback
Especially
away.
Garoppolo.
That's it.
Well, and the point is, Garoppolo was always mediocre, and then all of a sudden you put him on the West Coast,
Okay.
and it's like, oh, there he goes.
All right, so with Garoppolo, right, like you said, with Flacco, they had to grow. So now he had one season with him. He went through that growing pains. Now
He didn't even have that. He got hurt last year.
hurt. So
Yeah.
now we're actually seeing what the man can actually do.
But who
if you
expected the rest of San Francisco to play as well?
If you look
And nobody asked you, Pat.
with Garoppolo playing quarterback, how many games have they lost with him playing quarterback?
One.
One.
Yeah, it was.
I was going to say 1 or
game.
2.
Yeah.
So, I mean, why shouldn't we
You know what's
expect?
kind of
Shanahan
funny
is
about it?
doing.
The 49ers quarterback used to be a quarterback with New England, backup quarterback,
Yeah.
coach quarterback, used to be a backup quarterback with New England, and look at what both of them are doing now.
Yes.
They're both doing God.
Well, so what we're saying is, okay, see these backup quarterbacks that were playing essentially nothing ended up in these
Starting position.
that worked really well for them.
Yep.
And now
But
they're-
that's
they're
going on
shining
in a
nicely.
lot of places right now.
There
Well,
was a
even-
lot of teams calling the coach wanting to trade him. They said, we'll give you this draft pick or this player.
It's a good thing.
Chris
we didn't
Ballard
want
said,
him.
no, we're going to keep him.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'm glad we
look
didn't.
at what's his name, Allen, out in
Josh.
Carolina.
Oh, Kyle
Allen.
Kyle Allen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a backup and he's doing fabulous.
The first-
He's 4-0 with as a starting
I got
quarterback.
to watch him this past weekend. That kid is accurate as accurate gets.
So
He's
it-
putting the ball in places you shouldn't be putting it.
Did Cam lose his job when he comes back?
There's some
sounds like
there's
it.
some speculation about that. I mean, I guess it just depends on.
Who
Yeah.
wants him?
So that's the question right here. If Cam loses his job, Cam Newton loses his job, where would Cam Newton go?
I've heard rumors of going to the Broncos. I've heard a lot of rumors about that last 2 days.
Miami.
You think he? So
No,
you think
Miami's
No.
going after Tula.
Well,
they need a vet though? So
they do. At least, even if you've got
He's
a vet
too
who
much
can
money. He's
They
too
need
much
bridge.
money though.
so you said
Oh, we're black.
Broncos,
We've
I heard
lost.
2 days ago, the Broncos are trying.
Tony, are you awake?
Tony, wake up.
We're having some technical.
we have technical difficulties. Sorry.
I'm black here, but not.
Sorry everybody. Sorry about that.
It's probably already.
So if it wasn't the Broncos, if it wasn't the Broncos, who else would? Hey, I'm interviewing. If it wasn't the Broncos, who else will it be? No,
Atlanta.
Atlanta.
No, Atlanta.
Oh, my leg!
And that's only half of him. Can you imagine?
Help me, please! My leg's broken. I'm just playing.
Carvey's on IR.
So
He's
you
gonna
said-
call in next week anyway. Don't
So
He better not. We're not here next week.
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, you be by yourself. So
That's all right. That's how.
do you-
This is how it all started. I guess this is how it'll end.
so you think he will go to Atlanta?
Yes, I
So
do.
do you think Matt Ryan is going to lose his job?
He's getting pretty close to retirement pretty soon, I think.
Wait a minute. Who's going to Atlanta?
No, we were thinking about speculations.
Speculating.
Oh,
Now,
for
one of
Cam.
our-
Yes.
One of our friends here suggested Tennessee.
Marcus.
Ooh, yeah, they just benched Mariota for Tannehill.
Bench a Heisman Trophy winner.
If he ain't doing the job,
Yeah, I know.
I don't care if
I have an
he.
entire theory about Mariota not being successful, but that's clearly not for today.
So, okay,
I
speak.
don't think Cam Newton's been the same after he won the MVP and even got the Super Bowl when the Broncos beat him. He's not been the same after that when they
Yes.
got beat.
Yes.
He's a totally different player.
I think it's the way he dresses.
I'm sorry. I like Cam Newton as a player, but he does look like somebody's grandma or auntie
Yeah, you
at a
can't
barbecue.
come out looking like Aunt Millie for
So,
interviews.
this is some gentleman that shops at Goodwill and clearly does not put his outfits together as well as this man.
No, well, yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I agree.
I'm Cam Newton right
I
now.
like this style. a lot better.
this works way better.
I'm Cam Newton.
Cam Newton
what
wakes
he
up and he's just like, I'm gonna walk into the closet with the lights off.
No.
And see what happens.
No, this. Okay, yeah. This is Cam Newton right here. Sorry, hold on, everybody.
This is bad. This is bad.
Okay, I'm ready to talk. Now, how's everybody doing today? Yes, I know I threw that interception.
We had a rough first quarter.
Yeah, we had first quarter. You know, what can I say? You know.
Look, you're freaking out our guests, man. Would you quit?
It's Cam Newton because that's how.
Conversation, Cam Newton.
So it's
Hey,
okay.
I'm not gonna lie. I like Cam Newton, even
I
the way
do
he
too.
dresses. I've watched him when he was back in Auburn. I've always loved watching him play. He's a fun quarterback to watch because you
Yes.
never know what he's so dangerous on his feet and his arm.
Yep.
Well, I think that's part of the problem with Cam Newton. I think he's physically he's just wore out.
I think so too. But see, now you got Christian McCaffrey, that's taking that load. So do you think that he's about to be worn out just like Cam Newton in a few years?
Well, he's a running back. He's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
their
That's
shelf
the
lives aren't
difference.
as long.
Yeah, that's the difference.
But
Cam
he's
Newton
in-
get in an accident about 2 or 3 years ago. In a car accident, he had an injury or something, or a motorcycle.
Cam Newton, it was something like Cam Newton.
Mamie's got an injury nobody's never said anything about.
I
Maybe
think
that's
it was.
affecting
I
him.
know it's like a little
Something to
something.
do with his feet.
Yeah, it was something that.
And it ain't frostbite.
No, no, it's not frostbite.
He'll be joining Antonio Brown here
Antonio
soon.
Did you see pictures of that?
They're all three going to join the XFL.
Oh,
So
speaking.
let me take this one.
Okay.
You've been talking a lot. Speaking of the XFL, this has been crossed my mind a couple of times this week. If the XFL gets going and they get hot and they get popular, do you guys ever see a championship game between the NFL Super Bowl champion and the XFL champion? Do you see this game happening?
No, so the problem that you'll run across with this is because of the amount of money that is already invested by people like you and people like Jeremy and people like Carvey and people like you in the NFL, the XFL doesn't got a
Really?
shot.
That's why
in
you got a $500 handbag
Now look
with
at
Dallas
the
stars
Canada
on it,
Football League.
and you're not going to include yourself.
That's what I want to say.
I mean, that's
What do you say?
How about the Canada Football League?
It's only
Hey! Now he made a
380.
good point. He made a good. What about the Canadian
Canadian
Football
Football
League?
League?
So
How come they never played against each other?
that's
I don't
how.
know.
But
and
we-
actually, to
That
be
would be
fair,
fun.
the other question that I have, the biggest question, and this is something that has burned me for a very long time now.
They got medicine for that at the free clinic.
The
It
professional,
only itches when I pee.
so the Pro Football Hall of Fame, the one in Canton, Ohio,
Yep.
it is not in any way affiliated to the NFL. Okay, so it actually says one of their mottos is that they will be more than happy to highlight any outstanding professional football player. So why is it that the only outstanding professional football players that have ever been inducted into that Hall of Fame have been from the NFL? And that includes anybody that plays for the CFL. And they've had some amazing players. So
Doug Flutie.
why hasn't the Pro Football Hall of Fame ever included
True.
CFL?
True.
So that's something that needs to be brought to awareness, to attention. Like, hey,
Well, let's call Dalton. He's got inside access to
You
the.
sure? You sure about that? Are you sure? Dalton's inside access included a seat in the stadium for the game.
Well, it was just a mix-up.
Yeah, they
Gotta be
screw
so
my
mean.
mind.
No, that's actually for the most part, unless you're a major news outlet. That's what you get.
I know.
So, that being said, my opinion, XFL would not be playing no Super Bowl team because you got to think about this. XFL players are hand-me-downs.
At this point, there are.
Yes,
You're right.
they're
At
hand-me-downs.
this point.
Yeah, at this point.
All
But
right, research
you gotta
assistant.
get
How
the
many
money up.
kids
But-
out
but
of
you
the
got-
college
you got-
that don't get drafted
Or they
for
do
this
get
reason
drafted
or that
and
reason?
then get dropped for this reason or
Yeah,
that
or
reason.
get
There's
stuck on the
no
practice
space
squad.
on rosters.
Philip Walker, your quarterback you love.
I
He's
like- I
now
did like him. He
a
did
quarterback in the XFL.
yeah, he's
Well,
in.
I'll tell you something that
Trent Richardson?
is going to handicap the XFL right from the beginning. I've got a little bit of experience scouting in the arena league, a tertiary league to the NFL. So the problem they have, we would aim at players that we knew weren't going to get drafted, because if they're going to get drafted by the NFL, there's no point in even talking to them because they're going to get the X $1 million contract, and we can't afford to pay them that. So you need to find the guys that aren't going to get drafted. So I would get a list of players that I looked at that I liked that we knew weren't going to get drafted, and it would be up to me to call them. I would call 24 of them before I would get a hit, because every one of them would be like, well, I'd love to, but I don't want to commit to you guys because I might get a call from the NFL.
Just that might.
So
Just the
Hanging
might,
on to
that
the pure
might.
hope. Yeah.
Yep.
Go ahead.
So why wouldn't the XFL then go ahead and plan their draft around the NFL? Let's go ahead and wait for those kids that got rejected.
Well, they already did.
Well,
But
see,
that's what I'm saying.
that would be that's my biggest thing. Why they would know, to answer my own question, why they would never play is the timing. You know, the XFL's not starting until what, March,
But that's
April, something like that.
They're dodging the NFL.
Yeah.
They're playing during the NFL.
All right,
Which
so-
is perfect for football fans,
So-
because those of us that love football know that that's the end of the season.
But see, okay, I don't know if y'all remember that there was a football league at the time going on. Do y'all remember that? It was like it just happened, and where,
The
the
AAF
AAF
in the middle of the first season.
Yep.
but it was getting a lot of publicity. You know, a lot of players was going out there. Trent Richardson,
Yep.
well, he was playing with them, and he was exploding. Like, where was this Trent Richardson at when we had him? So
That's true.
And so I can actually tell you that collectively, the team that was decided to be the champions of that league was the Tampa Bay Bandits.
I thought it was Alabama.
No, it was
No,
Tampa
I
Bay
think she's right.
Bandits.
It was Steve Spurrier.
and it was coached by Steve Spurrier.
Yep.
They were 7-1.
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Oh
were-
yeah. So isn't Steve Spurrier? He said he wanted another chance.
He would love to, and he actually, based on his experience that he had with his one coaching opportunity in the NFL, isn't sure he's ready to or wants to come back to the NFL.
So what team did he coach? Do you know?
It was Washington Redskins.
Washington Redskins.
I'm glad that you remembered.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Now, if these NFL refs in the league
We know we can put him somewhere else next
do
year.
not
We can send them to
Come.
the XFL.
XFL, you can have him.
with some rules and guidelines that they're actually going to follow themselves, I'm leaving the NFL. I'm just telling you that right now.
Do you want some officiating candy here?
No, because
I've got
I'm
some. No,
sick
I've
of
got
it.
some numbers
What about
for
the
you.
Detroit and Green Bay Packers game, for example.
Oh,
Yes.
Somebody get calls.
Yeah, that was just a
Game
Yep.
7 times.
that was just the
Every
latest.
other scenario, Detroit
Foo
had
bar.
that game in the bag.
True.
It was the refs that handed that game to Green Bay, and it was some bull.
Beep.
Hey! Family, but
Sorry,
You see me? You see, I was looking for. I was. You see.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
There were some bad calls out there.
Yes.
it's some real.
So
But
there were some uncalled bad calls. Some calls that are like, okay, so this guy's like this in the middle of the game.
how? Wait a minute.
That's exactly
How
what
how'd he do it?
Right, he was like this. And the refs are like, what are you doing? What? Stop
Now I got
it.
fingerprints on my
Stop
glasses.
it.
Hey, I got their defense in my fantasy league.
you're fine.
Yeah, we'll just
Brush that.
let that one go.
The
So
Colts games I went to this year, and one of the Colts players would run down the field with the ball. I think it was the Raiders game. A guy from the Raiders grabs him from behind
The collar. Yep.
jersey and pulls him down real hard. There wasn't no call.
We saw that too.
Yeah.
Now, how you not call that?
exactly. So that being said, don't you have some information on
Yeah,
the?
oh yeah.
It does, yeah.
So I looked at the number of penalties called this year, and I extrapolated that number out to a full season.
I love it.
So
Extrapolate.
So currently, right now, the NFL refs have called 1,376 penalties this season for a total of 11,504 yards
No.
So far.
so far.
That's just
If you
so far.
average that out for the full season, that's 3,898 penalties for 32,594 yards. That in itself doesn't sound like anything. So you got roughly
And
3,900 penalties.
And the Patriots only have 10
See,
10 of those penalties
You'd
the
be
whole
shocked.
the
they're
whole
right.
game.
They're right in the middle of the league.
Yeah, the Patriots aren't even the highest or the lowest.
No, the Colts are actually the lowest penalized team in the league.
Yeah.
Sweet.
However, but if you go back, though, I went back and I looked at these compared to the last 2 years. I didn't go very far back. So in 2018, for the full season, we had 3,400 penalties, 3,431 penalties for 32,731 yards. So we had roughly 400 fewer penalties on average for the season for roughly the same amount of yards. 2017, almost the same number of penalties as you had in 2018, changed by 10 penalties for 29,500 yards.
Okay.
So if you look at it, the yardage hasn't changed, but the amount of penalties is extraordinarily high.
But that's not what's grabbing my goat, Coach. What's grabbing my goat is the penalties that they're
they're
calling, and it's evidently not
Well, and-
there. Like what
and-
Ty,
well,
they
and-
called that pass interference, offensive
and
pass
this
interference
is-
on Ty, and it clearly wasn't there.
See, if the penalties, the numbers and everything had been similar, I probably wouldn't have dug any farther, but I dug farther. So I looked at the top 5 called penalties
Which actually
This
have
year?
not changed.
not much
at all.
versus the top 5 penalties called for the last 2
3
years.
years.
2 years. So this year, the top 5 penalties so far have been offensive holding, false starts, defensive holding, defensive pass interference, and illegal blocks above the waist. Okay? So, and I extrapolated them out the same way I did the amount of penalties and yards, like I did that other set of information. So if we follow this out by average to the end of the season, we'll have 890 offensive holding calls for 8,489 yards. By itself, it doesn't mean anything. But if you look at last year, we had 708 offensive holding calls for 6,844 yards. That's almost a 2,000-yard difference. Almost 200 less holding penalties called. In 2017, it was even less than that. It was 664 for 6,300 yards. So the amount of holding calls being called has gone up, up, up. The false starts, I don't even count that because that's completely player and coach controlled. They've stayed about the same. But the big one that jumps out to me,
Roughing the passer.
no, the unnecessary roughness penalties in 2017, 2018 were the 5th highest called penalty. Not this year. They haven't been calling it.
Really?
So that's the thing that we actually looked at. Some of the biggest complaints from coaches is the missed pass interference calls.
The
They're
unnecessary
not
roughness call.
Calling those, you're just completely overlooking all of those.
Right. And
So-
see, and that's my scale. The ones that are not calling, and the BS ones that they are calling.
But it's hard to determine what wasn't called because what might look like pass interference to you and me. So you've got professional refs that are saying that wasn't.
They ain't professional.
Okay.
But so the other question that I've got, and this is something that you brought up that I just now thought about: how many of those calls were against teams that we're playing the Patriots?
I don't know.
You know how hard it. I mean, if I could do it if I had like 3 people working for me, but that's something to be looked. Like, how many of those calls, like at this point, are they placating the Saints because of last year?
Oh, I'm sure that data's somewhere.
It's,
I guarantee it is.
But can I find it online? No, because
I don't know.
the NFL doesn't want you to know that data.
Yeah, it's hard to find. It would be.
It's-
You would
it
have to go
was-
back and watch every game to find missed calls.
That's the whole point about the missed calls. Is who decides what's a missed call.
Yeah, but they're so obvious anymore.
Like the hands in the face one, except that it
Yeah.
wasn't a hands in the face. Like the hand in the face call, his arm was over here.
Right, but they threw the flag, the challenge flag. The ref goes back, looks at it, and still says no.
So that was the
That
other
and the
thing.
penalty stands.
That was the other thing that we talked about. So if you take a look at all of those calls that have been reviewed, do you know how many have been overturned?
Like
One.
One.
Yeah.
A single one has been overturned all
That's
season.
it. Out of
it's
60,
been,
out of 60
yeah,
calls.
It's been over 60 of
the
them.
vast majority of people like you and me and everybody that watches these games has looked at these and went, that is clearly not a foul.
Just
So-
like T.Y. Hilton in the Kansas City game.
Yep.
Yep.
T.Y. Hilton was just standing there, and the guy from Kansas City grabs him.
Yeah. He
He grabs him. And
So
they call
it's-
holding on T.Y. T.Y. standing
and they
like this.
challenged it, and
Not moving.
and
the rest
and
of
the call up
on
was
the field
upheld.
stands. So the question now is, are the refs doing this to say, you don't get to question my judgment? Is that what they're doing?
Well, sounds like
I
they
don't
are.
care. I don't care why they're doing it.
Except-
They are going to be the downfall of this league
I don't
because
disagree
what
with
they're doing is stacking the odds in the favor of whoever the heck they want. And the fans, the people that pay the money to watch these players, to go to the games, to eat the nachos,
To buy the Colts.
are going to stop. They are going to be the downfall.
Well, and something you guys need to consider too. There are things going on behind the scenes that aren't just out there. This is the last year on the referee's contracts
This is not
for their
the-
union.
It's the player's contract. The NFLPA this is their contract is up.
Well,
So it's both of them?
yeah.
So
They both go the
at
same
what
same
point
cycle.
do the people that actually play football, the ones on the field getting their butts handed to them on a regular basis, say we are no longer okay with the refs getting 75% of the game. The refs are deciding 75% of this game. It's not about the fact that you've got a
Well,
tackle that can kick the crap out
it
of a receiver.
involves their safety too, the player's safety.
Yeah. True.
Yeah.
That's true.
But why would the refs purposely be doing these bad calls if it's but
all
that
about the
gives
money.
management that gives management, hey, you guys can't even make these calls right on the field.
I guarantee you it's about the money because who are the quarterbacks that are being favored?
Tom Brady.
Yep.
We don't say that name in here, you know it.
I'm sorry.
Once rough and passer, because when you go touch Tom Brady like this,
No.
automatic.
If you
rough
look
and passer.
if you just look
Now,
at
come
him.
on. Call it both ways.
He only thing he does is like, hey, they hit me. Oh, they did? Are you sure?
He is the Steve Young of this generation. Thank you for
She's
pointing
got a
that
Steve Young problem.
Man, Steve Young, every time somebody touched him, he's like, which time did I get touched? That's a foul. Oh, I hate that.
Like,
Oh, I hate Steve
like
Young.
ref, you didn't see
One
that?
of the games this year against New England, I don't know who they were playing, and the refs told the defensive guys, you cannot touch Tom Brady.
Oh
It was
yes,
Pittsburgh.
yes.
Pittsburgh.
You're
You
not allowed to hit 'em.
ain't because
Yep.
look because somebody was mic'd up and they got that on that mic and he said you're not allowed to. Yeah,
That was the Pittsburgh
Lay-
game.
Yes.
The very
they
first
said
game of
lay
the
off
season.
Brady.
yeah. That ref should have got fired. Just like I believe, like you said, some of the refs are getting paid under the table, and that's going to come to exposure here soon. Now, when that does come to exposure here soon, there's going to be a lot of controversy of like, oh, he threw this game, we should have won that game. He threw this game, we should have won that game.
Let's go ahead and go all the way back to the Super Bowl in 2015. Let's go ahead and go all the way back to that.
Okay.
All right? And that's where it's going to start because that's when Tom Brady and his bullshit started.
Beep, 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 beep.
All right, let's move on.
The ratings were down last year in the Super Bowl because I think a lot of people are getting tired of seeing New England.
We're tired of New England
Yeah.
getting the upper hand let's take a look at their schedule. They're playing
schedule's
all
weak.
year. So clearly they're going to end up being one of the better teams because they're not playing anybody of value.
True.
Are they matching up against anybody in the NFC North?
Nope.
Except for the one team that almost beat them.
It's Buffalo Bills.
That's the only team that could have potentially had a chance. There's maybe one more.
No, that's who they've played.
So
Yep.
Pittsburgh should have been tougher with Roethlisberger,
With
but he
Roethlisberger.
missed half that
But
game.
even then, Roethlisberger's about
That
as
was a
fallen
horrible,
apart
horrible
as
game.
Brady is. So again, the NFL handed this team the easiest schedule on the planet, setting them up to get back
For
to
another run, yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so the rest of us are like, what?
So they can't be losing that much money, or the NFL wouldn't do it.
Well, let's.
I mean, ratings are down. This is down. This is down. Evidently, something is still making the NFL money.
Well, I'll tell you that Boston sports market is rabid.
Because if
So
you look
just-
at all like the Monday night games, that's premier time.
Yeah.
Supposedly, only the best of the best get those Monday night games
So
because it's so much money.
right. So,
If the ratings are down and money's down, Boston can't carry the entire
No,
No, they
but
can't at all.
money
And I think at
brought
this
in
point,
for the NFL.
despite, everybody, oh, Brady's the GOAT. Brady's not the GOAT. Honestly, Brady is a mediocre quarterback. Brady has been exceptional as a quarterback because of the system that was built around him. He's got an exceptional O-line.
it's tailor-made for him.
And he really was not supposed to be a great quarterback.
And he's going to stay in the league until he beats
He's going to stay
Peyton's
in the league.
until he doesn't want to be in.
Well,
records.
the only thing they did with Brady one year, they suspended him for 4 games. That was kind of slapping on the face there. Suspend him for the whole season. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, over
I
Deflate
mean,
Gate.
he's done so many things.
Well,
He
he-
gets away with it.
Exactly. He gets away with it. The Patriots get away with it. Robert Kraft clearly openly paid for prostitutes, and yet somehow everybody's like, oh, just let it go. It's fine.
Yep.
He's
But that's the
wrong.
oldest profession in the world.
No, but still, it's wrong.
Yeah,
It's
he's
wrong.
just trying to keep
Wrong.
tradition alive. I'm not mad at him for that one.
It's not a moral issue. It's illegal. So there's that.
totally
But I'm
wrong.
saying if he's wrong, he's wrong, and it got to be consequences and repercussion. You know what I mean?
No, so clearly if you cheated in a playoff game, the repercussion should be you forfeited that freaking game. But clearly that didn't happen because they went on to win the Super Bowl that year.
I could tell you're mad because you just turned red.
Okay, let's move on.
The heat is coming.
Yeah,
over
I
and
feel
burning me
it,
up.
and it was not for
I want
me.
to see that face mask. What that guy did on the face mask again.
What are you doing?
So there were a couple things. We're running out of time. There were a couple things that I did want to bring up really, really quick. It's getting late. I'm sorry, but we talk about how we're not just a football show. So I would like to just shout out to the Washington Mystics. So for the first time in Mystics history, they won the WNBA championship.
Yes.
First time for that team. So that's very exciting. I'd also like to point out that the Washington Nationals clinched a World Series visit.
That's what I'm talking.
30-something.
Also the first time in their history. So Washington, D.C. is having a hell of a
And they
year.
lost the highest played baseball player. What's his name?
St. Louis Cardinals.
Harper.
Dodgers
Harper.
were favored
Yep.
to get the World Series, and they got knocked out.
And
He went to Philly, right? Yeah.
if we'd like to have a conversation about a GOAT, let's all just go ahead and say a thank you to Simone Biles for being just a pristine example
Badass.
Yeah.
of
Straight
That was
badass
an
chick,
athlete.
I
man.
want to ask you something. How many do you agree if the coach would have went out and spent the money for Andrew Luck, the second or third year in the NFL, got him in the front line, he would still be playing today for the Colts?
Absolutely.
100% agree.
Absolutely.
we've talked about
Because
that. Yeah.
he got it beaten
Yes.
day after day.
But see, it was the GM's fault.
Yep.
What's his name? Grissom,
Fat head.
Yeah.
Bonehead, whatever.
Before Ballard, so that's
Fat
what
head.
Chris
matters.
Ballard's a super nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's done everything right.
I like
Coach,
him.
Bringing the players in, spending the money, getting free agents, and draft picks.
He getting players that wants to play and wants to be here and actually wants to win. He got that unity in the football field, especially in that locker room.
Well, so
Where go ahead.
that's what's exciting about what I'm seeing with the Colts is you all lost Luck at a pivotal time
Yes.
in the Colts.
Yes.
And you know what they said?
Next man up.
Awesome.
That's true.
Yep.
still-
So they that's their motto. Next man up, because the thing is, like you saying, the Colts, that locker room, that vibe, that feeling, they believe in one another. Not just one man, not just the running back. They believe in everybody.
And the team.
And the team. And Jacoby, he got that. He built that bond over the years. He proven that, you know what? I'm the next man up. That's why I think Jacoby's about to. He gonna give us a Super Bowl ring. I kid you.
I agree
Yeah.
with you, Michael. If Luck would have had the line that we've got starting last year, he wouldn't have been hit. Now there's always going to be times somebody's going to get hit. He could have took a nasty hit and still made up the decision he did, but it's doubtful.
It was an accumulation of punishment that he got over the years. That
Yeah, he was here, 8 years with us?
Danny wanted to remind us that
6 years.
his name
Yeah.
was Grigson.
What?
Don't forget.
I just thought I'd make sure.
We don't care about him.
What? Say that again. I missed.
Grigson was.
Gregson.
Oh, yeah, fathead.
Dixon.
Yeah.
Bixon.
And then he goes to Cleveland Browns fire him.
Yeah, quickly. Like, you know what? Get out of here. You terrible.
Cleveland Browns.
And speaking of the Browns,
Yeah, man.
didn't I call it that they was going to be a bust?
You know what bothers me
I
is
don't
they
think that-
shouldn't
hold on.
be.
Hold on.
Yeah, but it's
Just
we're,
hold on.
we're not that late into the season.
It's not over yet.
It's not over, but
It's far from over.
yes.
I'll tell you. I went back and I looked at my prediction, and I looked at their schedule. I predicted them to go like 2-7 to start the season,
Right.
or no, 2-6 to start the season, and then going on a late run, and finishing up 10-6.
Because they
Are you on track?
I'm close to it. I mean, if you're looking at it now, they haven't lost 6 games yet.
but
They've
see,
won 2.
all right,
The
so
Dolphins are favored right now in the draft pick.
see, this right now. Okay, they're in their bye week right now. After they come back, who they play?
Baltimore.
No,
They don't.
they play the Rats. I mean,
Yeah, they got the Patriots next.
they got the Patriots.
But if you
And they're
if you
playing
look,
the Patriots
at
the
it's
Patriots.
always there.
Always.
If
If
you
it's
look-
potentially a team that could potentially beat them.
I want you to look at it though. They've still got Cincinnati twice.
Mm-hmm.
They still got Pittsburgh twice.
And then after that, but see, look, after the Patriots, they got the Broncos. After the Broncos, they have. Hold on, let me look. I'm still looking. They got the Bills.
That's going to be a tough game.
Yeah,
Bills
exactly.
are tough.
That's gonna be tough.
Bills
for
are
them.
tough.
I think I probably picked them to beat the Bills, but I don't know about that now.
Yes.
No.
I don't know if I'd say that now.
I wouldn't.
So
And then
I still believe the Patriots. I still believe the Browns will have a winning.
they may
season
have a
this
win. They may win
But I-
week 11.
But I didn't think they were gonna. I didn't think they were gonna make the playoffs anyway.
No, they're not.
I
They're
thought
not.
the
It's
Browns.
I,
or the
I still
Ravens
think
would
it's
take that.
possible.
I do too.
Uh,
But-
one.
You know what? If they could do it, if they fire Freddie Kitchens.
You know we got to speak into the microphone for anybody here.
Can't whisper.
I can't whisper for that.
Ooh.
There's another coach that should also get fired.
Who?
Oh, she doesn't want to say it out loud.
Dallas Cowboys coach.
Gary.
You know why? Because I can't stand the fans. I like you, but some of the fans I just can't. That's why I don't like Dallas Cowboys.
Your wife is a Dallas fan.
Exactly.
And so you're saying you can't stand your wife.
I love her, but I can't stand her.
Brittany, call me. We'll talk you through this. We'll get his mind right. I promise you.
No, it's
this
like
is nothing that we did.
no. This is
No,
this.
I want you to look at my leaderboards. Look at my leaderboards. Who's the number 3 passer so far this year?
Only reason why I like
Number
him
3.
because only reason why I like him because he's helped me beat everybody in the league.
So you picked him knowing damn well how damn good he is.
No, because it was the only good available quarterback at the time. But see, okay, this is my thing.
Number 3.
Okay, but you just lost to a 0-14.
Oh.
Yes.
So
You know how many
American
times
football
Chris
team,
Carolina's at-
huh?
What about those Cowboys?
Yeah, you know. Yes. I was just checking. Are y'all still them boys?
Damn straight we are.
Yep.
Remember last year, Skip on ESPN, he was saying Prescott was better than Andrew Luck. Their running back was better than our running back.
I mean,
But
that's true.
who shut him out last year?
Who? Hello.
I mean, yard
23
for
to
We-
yard,
nothing.
touchdown for touchdown. That is 100% true.
I'm telling you.
Just saying.
I'm gonna tell you right now. Dallas is a mediocre team.
No, Dallas has a mediocre coach.
Team.
Hey,
The
you
team
guys
is
go
He needs to
finish
be
this
gone.
after the show.
All right.
They need to let him go. He should have been fired last year.
We're about to shut this
I'm
thing
not a
down.
Cowboys
All right.
fan,
Disagree with
but,
But
he should have been fired
She
last
seemed
year.
kind of heated, so she need to cool
We
down.
need to sell some. Or
We do.
pay our
We need to pay
bills.
some bills.
That's why I
Yeah.
said she seemed very heated, so she
We're
need to
gonna
cool
go
down.
home and we're gonna watch some football. And your wife's name is
Brittany.
Brittany.
Hmm?
I'm inviting Brittany over.
Oh no.
I'm going to ask you guys one question. How many people think Pete Rose should be in the Hall of Fame right now?
Oh well, yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
The only way he's going to get in the Hall of Fame
If he
until
apologizes.
he dies. And that's not fair to the man.
That's.
The man paid his price, put him in the Hall of Fame, let him
I
do
agree.
it.
I
We
agree
need to start a
100%.
petition. Put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame.
There's been about 6 petitions.
Well, there's another
Oh,
one.
yeah. It's been out there for a while.
You just invited her.
All right. It's getting so
till
hot
show's
in here. We need to have our
Hey,
heating
guys,
and
I
cooling
appreciate you
service.
having me here.
Thank you.
It was an honor.
Well, we're not
Thank
done.
you.
We're not done, Michael. Don't leave us yet.
All right.
A little bit more.
Unless you gotta go to the bathroom, then
Yeah.
you do it. All right. But anyways, you guys know our title sponsors, Preferred Mechanical, Heating and Cooling. Give our friends a call, area code 317-924-4042. They will take care of you, I promise. Mention
they
this
will.
show.
Well, they got us at quite a bind this week. So.
There you go.
Thank you, Greg.
There you go.
So again, people.
Get
Do
him.
it.
Get
Do
him.
So
Get
again,
'em.
people, if you're hot, I'm sorry, the weather is cooling down, and you're gonna be really, 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 really cold. You know who to call. Call Refer Mechanical. They will fix your AC, your heating core, all that stuff. But you gotta be residential only, okay? So the number's right there at the bottom.
No, you could be commercial.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But you only get the 10% discount if you're residential.
Yes, and also, if you call, you get registered in a drawing to sit on the 50-yard line with the man, the myth, the only
Big P. baby.
me.
He done stole my ticket. But
we're gonna change him to Big P for personality.
But that is true, Carvey.
Yes.
If you call our friends out, they service your stuff. You get put into a drawing for one ticket to sit on the 50-yard line behind the players' bench for the Jacksonville game.
Okay.
And if nobody wins, Pat's stuck with my Pat.
Wow.
No, he may take the suit. He may take Mike.
Take the Superbad. Oh, you already have a season ticket.
Yep.
don't you?
Oh well,
Yeah, see?
so
He'll be there. He'll be there waiting on you.
So, but anyways, if you do need heating, cooling issues taken care of, they're trustworthy. I give you my full, honest support. I would send them to my mother. That's how honest these guys are. But give our friends at Preferred Mechanical a call. They'll take care of you, I promise. And you get 10% off just by mentioning this show.
cool.
So, but anyways, predictions for the score.
Colts by 7.
Colts by 7. Kristen?
I think you might have a 3-point game.
3.
3-point game.
Who in favor of? The Colts.
Well, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
I said the Colts. I'm
Okay,
not a fan, Carvey.
That's fine. I was making sure.
Jeez.
Carvey.
Well, I think the Colts are going to spank them, and we're gonna have them by 2 touchdowns.
By 14. Coach?
24-17 Colts.
24-17. I was going to say 24-10.
Well,
So, I'm
yeah,
pretty
there you
close.
go.
I still think it's going to be a little bit closer.
No, I'm telling.
It could be. They've got the talent to
Marlon
be.
Mack is going to run over everybody. That's all I'm going to say.
Now,
So,
Like
we always do a final thought at the end of the show, Mike. We'll let you lead it off. So what's your final thoughts that you want to send everybody to bed
It was
with?
really awesome to meet every one of you guys here. And I appreciate you guys letting me come up here.
Man, we're honored
hopefully
to
do it
have you.
again.
We're honored to
Yeah,
have you.
we are.
And we thank you for your fandom, going
Thank
out,
you.
bringing those smiles to
Hey, Colts
everybody.
fans, go to the game. Let's get a big W for the Colts. Be 2-0 in the division.
yes,
Boom.
I like
yes,
it.
there we
Boom.
go.
Take
there
the
we
division
go. That's what
back.
I'm talking about.
Kristen, final thoughts.
Nobody wants to hear mine.
What do you got?
Come on.
I have to pee.
All right, Garvey, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. Like, I want to jump off what he said. You know, when you have a chance, go donate blood. Donate blood, you know, because, you know, you saving somebody's life. So if you have a chance, just go out there, help someone out. Donate blood drive. Find any blood drive out there because you never know. Your blood could be the one that could help out that person.
Coach, that stuff's a follow.
I was gonna say I gotta follow that.
Yeah, yep, you do, because I ain't.
I like Cheerios. There we go. That's what we got this week.
Cheerio.
He's like, I like Cheerios.
My final thoughts are on the podcast. As everybody knows, we do this show live. We take the recordings, we put it out into the podcast world. Mm-hmm. Our podcast is really picking up. We're getting picked up in several different countries. But so far, California is our biggest user base, and that surprises me that we're backyard in Indiana. So, you Colts fans, you letting them California dreamers take it away from you. So
West
if
Coast
you get
is
a
the
chance,
best coast, I guess.
Yes.
if you don't get a chance to watch the show, share the show. We appreciate all the support from all of our friends because we can't do it without you. We don't want to do it without you. We do it for you. So spread the word, pass it around.
Yeah.
And on that note, you guys be good to each other. No drinking and driving. Call an Uber. It's a whole lot cheaper.
Or call Pat.
Or call me.
He'll go to California.
I wasn't gonna pick your drunk ass up, so
I would rather pick you up than go to your funeral.
There you go.
So, and as always, go
Go
Colts!
Colts!
Tony, we're